Ja, se on te.
Okay, Normunds fixed it. We now see the topics, and there are 5 topics on the screen. So it says languages, Viktors configurating, stock, sponsorships, and support. And I hope this gets you excited.
So, languages.
Languages. So we asked you, should we do like German videos and stuff like that? And you went all crazy in the comments, like saying, yeah, also do Dutch language next. So we wanted to explain you how we come up with the languages.
Yeah.
Why do we have Spanish and Ukrainian and German? So why?
Well, it's simple. As you know, if you watched our nice Christmas video, that all of our people who do the videos, they're actually MikroTik employees.
Yeah.
So quite logically, there is only that much.
We have a set of languages that we know, and an even bigger set of languages that we don't know.
Yeah, sure. Because here in our office, everything, actually, you have to know, everything happens here in this one building. We don't have locations around the world with 7,000 of employees. No, we are actually based in Riga, Latvia, and all the people that work for MikroTik work here in Riga, Latvia. And we're all Latvians, except a few people. So, for example, in MikroTik support, we have Serhiy, who is Ukrainian, so he knows Ukrainian language. We have some people who are bilingual. We have a few people who have learned in school. In Latvia, most people, since Latvian is a small language, we usually learn at least 2 other languages because we have to. So most people speak English, Russian is popular, German is popular, and Spanish, of course, is also now getting popular.
It's getting there. But
Yeah, but well, those are the most popular languages. So there's only that the choices are not very big. We can't simply find a guy who knows about MikroTik routers, lives in Riga, and speaks Dutch. It's just too hard.
yeah,
So-
it might happen one day, but because we're always hiring new people, and there's I just read in the news recently that for years we had this problem that more people are leaving and more people are dying than are born and coming to Latvia. So we were losing population for years and years. And I think now it's starting to turn around. More people have come to Latvia in the recent years than left it. I think it was the case. I don't want to lie, but for some reason I remember this. But yeah, and
So this MikroTik support guy who speaks Dutch might be getting born right now, right?
yeah, or maybe he's moving to Latvia.
We only have to wait a little bit.
Because with all the digital nomads, so if you work somewhere else, you sometimes move, for example, to Latvia because the prices here are good. You have lots of nature, scenery, and then when you settle in, you start to think, maybe I should work in MikroTik.
I want to mention maybe you need to watch our guide to Latvia videos. We have several parts, and then you might be getting to the idea: what if I'm here in the Netherlands and I actually want to live in Latvia? And then you come to Latvia, and then you apply for a job in MikroTik, and then we will have videos in the Dutch language.
And I see no reason not to move to Latvia. This is a really nice place, and yeah, so there's that. Most Latvians, like Norman said, know at least 2 or 3 languages. So I'm wondering, how many languages do you guys know usually in your country? Let us know in the comments, because I've seen some interesting combinations around the world, like so many people know. For example, a lot of people from Italy have told me that they know Spanish on a very basic level because the languages are so similar. Like, if you meet a Spanish guy as an Italian guy, you can kind of communicate. So, yeah, tell me in the comments. I'm really curious. I haven't been traveling all that much, but through your comments, I can finally live on a global scale. So there's that. The second point was Viktors, me doing configurations. So what's up with that?
Yeah. So we have a new idea. Let us know what you think about this. So imagine the scene. Viktors is here, and he must set up his internet connection and get his phone, online. And he must do it without any outside help, and he's doing this on camera. And then of course, he will struggle, and then he will definitely mess it up. And once that appears, one of our support guys appears and says, Viktors, what did you mess up this time? And then they figure it out together and find the mistakes and correct those mistakes. So what do you think about this? Would it be interesting?
I remember when I got my first MikroTik router, everyone told me that it might take you some time to set it up. It took me no time at all. I set it up almost instantly. We had super fast Wi-Fi. And I said to my girlfriend, connect to the 5 gigahertz network. It's super fast, it's good. She does that, she starts working, but then I keep messing with the settings. And I see, oh, Capsman, sounds interesting. And I start doing things. And I lost both the network and the access to my router for like the whole evening. And I was messaging, it was Friday evening, by the way, and I was messaging all my colleagues like, guys, please help, I have like stuff to do this evening, please. And I think Sergey's helped me out.
This happens to everyone. Actually, I have a little different scenario. I'm working from home, sitting at my computer, messing around with something, and colleagues in support say, oh, the new version was just built or something, and why not upgrade? And I upgrade my router, and then I screams from all the rooms, what did you do to the internet? Where is it? So yeah, that happens too. It happens to everyone.
I like how with technology there's always ways to mess up in, like, for example, I've also had this situation where I lose connectivity, I start updating the router, doesn't help. I look for like software issues, I look for new drivers for my network adapter and everything. Nothing helps. I open up the PC case, look if maybe something is loose, spending hours, except checking the Ethernet cable if it's... God damn it.
My cable usually, the small tab, it falls off, and then it becomes so loose that you hit it and it just falls out.
The same. And I recently bought a cable with metal thing.
Yeah, the metal
so
tab.
it doesn't break as easily. So we've had this idea to torture me on camera. What do you think about that? I hope that you will write in the comments, no, we don't want to see that. Who wants to see that? That's boring. Let's keep to Druvis and other like...
Speaking about these ideas in the comments, we have seen all of your comments, believe us, and there is a lot of variety. And the difficult thing for us is that there are all kinds of viewers. There are the beginners who need the first steps, the help, and these videos are great for those people who don't want to read the manuals and learn about routers. They just want to solve a simple thing. How do I do this? And they go to our channel and there's this video and they just follow the steps. And then there's all those other people who say, I want this deep knowledge about these routing protocols and switching things and all these very difficult setting combinations and stuff. And we have to like, we must make all kinds of videos because our products are used by all kinds of people. So it's difficult, but we're trying. And we are trying to do a big variety of videos. We just stopped filming a Viktors video about helping your grandparents with the Wi-Fi. That would be one end of the big range of videos that we have. And we're still planning all those advanced videos as well. So that's coming too. It just takes a lot of time to plan all this.
We try to use the naming of the videos to help you skip the videos that you don't want. Like lounges are usually less serious. MikroTips have evolved to be like kind of aimed at beginners, but also intermediate users.
And not just the names, the faces.
Yeah.
If you see the friendly face of Viktors, you probably know it's a lounge video.
But I'm slowly transitioning to serious stuff as well, like the net power video.
Next BGP.
Wanna discuss BGP?
And the Druvis is our new face of the MikroTips, and then we have our how to call them. We have other people who rarely show up here unless we really convince them, because they're usually deep in the router somewhere and configuring stuff. So to get them to speak in front of the camera is very, very difficult. And like, as you know, we don't have actors, so we must go and bother Edgar's. Please make the next Switch video. Please come and talk about it. Because we don't want to read the script from the screen. You will see that we don't know what we're talking about. It's not authentic. We want to be authentic. We want the expert to tell you from his own heart.
But yeah, there's a moment here as well. I've seen comments on videos like, oh, there was this video about some very complicated routing, OSPF, like something like that. And people were telling, some of you were telling in the comments, oh, she's reading a script. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Olga is no.
Yeah,
Olga knows what she's talking about.
She invented routing, basically. The thing is, some people are just camera shy. And
most of these topics, I think 99% of the topics that we are showing you are presented by the person who knows what he's talking about.
Except me.
Well, he's learning. Today he was learning physics.
Yeah, I never went to physics in high school. Always the physics teacher would look through the window, and I was like
I'm running away.
But I took a week to prepare for the video we made today, learning all about frequency spectrums and how higher frequencies can penetrate stuff with enough energy and stuff like that.
Children, you must learn the physics.
Yeah, physics is just everywhere. And I wish someone told me that when I was younger. Well, they did tell me, I was just...
Who is listening?
Yeah. Anyway, that's topic number 2 of today. Topic number 3, the stock issues. We see your comments. We don't want to turn our backs to less sexy topics. We respect your insatisfaction with the stock situation, and we want to address it. We want to tell you about why it's happening and how it's getting better. So I think there are 3 reasons why you sometimes see devices out of stock. The first one is obviously the global stuff, like the parts availability, which is still happening. It's better, but when nothing was available, there was this chain reaction. Then when something became available, people started buying more things that they need, and usually the chain was like this. So there's this one huge manufacturer of like tiny micro whatever transistors and stuff like that.
Speak plainly. Everybody knows about the toilet paper situation.
Yeah.
People just stock up thousands of rolls. And basically the same happens in all...
Yeah, and when it comes to tech, it comes in layers. Like the giant distributor sells to medium distributors which buy more than they need, and it goes down until it comes down to like manufacturers like us who get just crumbles. But the people who work here in logistics and component supply, they are always looking for better deals, better supplies, and we are improving it almost
yeah,
like
now
all
we
the
also
time.
have more factories than before. We have diversified a lot, but until that, all those until all those actions reach you, some time will pass. So, of course, building a new factory doesn't immediately give stock in all the countries. But we're working very hard.
And even when it does, there's just so many back orders in some places that, But then there's another thing. A lot of stuff is in stock, just not where you're looking. Because I get it, you want to buy at your local supplier. But sometimes just the world is pretty small now. You have to look in other places as well. So try other distributors, maybe in other countries, because a lot of the things that you say is out of stock. We look at the stocks and they are there, just not in your city.
Yeah, of course. MikroTik does not control how much and where each device must be ordered. This is up to each distributor. We have a big network of distributors, and some of them will order 100 of these devices, and the other one says, "Oh, doesn't look interesting to me," and only orders like 10. So it's a very different in each country. Mm-hmm. So just email them and ask them. And another thing, if you're only looking at a certain web page and just refreshing the page until the stock numbers change from 0 to something else, that might also not be a good idea. Maybe you should write them and ask them to put a reservation in your name when the unit comes in, because maybe there's like 10 other people who have signed up, and you're just still sitting there refreshing the page, but all the other people are getting their orders in the order of when they wrote their emails. So that's something else to try.
I've actually heard that during the worst moments of this whole situation, there were people who were buying up some of the hottest devices, like the new 100 gigabit and so on, to resell them at a premium.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so it's not just about the tickets to Taylor Swift or the newest iPhones.
Scalpers.
Scalpers have got to us as well.
It's hard to control, because, like I said, MikroTik does not control what the shops are doing. It's up to them.
Yeah, the business model here is that our distributors are like our ambassadors. They're an extension of MikroTik, but with that comes...
But they're very individual, yeah.
Yeah, with that comes...
They're independent, completely independent.
That's what I wanted to say. With that comes a lot of independence. So you really have to communicate. But if nothing works, if you for some reason don't want to speak with the distributors, you can write an email to our sales team at sales@mikrotik.com and tell what you need, and they will try to look for the right distributor for you. But if you look at our webpage, just browse through some of the distributors, find the one that you like, and message them. They will help you. They're nice guys. They have been working with us for ages.
Speaking about the distributors, I wanted to tell you, our distributors are very special. Each company that is an official distributor and is listed on the MikroTik webpage must go through all kinds of processes to be there. They even have to get some people certified in our products. They must know all of our products. They must know what each product does and what it is for and what is the best alternative. So they're knowledgeable. And another thing, they must have certified technical people as well. Official certification course must be passed for at least a few people. So you should not be afraid of them. There are not only anonymous internet shops, they're actually good people working there. So drop them an email, even if you need technical assistance, even if you need any kind of help with your configuration. They should have people who know about this stuff.
Moving on, the next topic is kind of connected to the previous one. We receive a lot of questions about sponsorship, like can you upgrade our network for free, or can you give us stuff?
Or even stuff just to try, maybe sample units, maybe something to try for a little while.
And the answer is no. Not because we are greedy, but there are several reasons. First of all is that our resources, when it comes to charity work and stuff like that, they're spread quite thin between humanitarian aid. Then we do a lot of stuff with the academics, like I'm super proud of what MikroTik does with the genomic data network, where we basically set up a 100 gigabit network for Latvian medics and scientists to work
We need
with.
a separate video about that. Maybe.
I think we have one with
Do
all
we
this. It was quite well
We
received.
can make a new one.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because there's all kinds of developments in that area. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
and that's well, it really motivates me. I know that the best motivation for people to work is usually the salary, which is nice, but also I'm really inspired that MikroTik actually puts Latvia on the map for cancer treatment, pediatric cancer treatment. So we focus a lot on that, and usually when we have available stuff or human resources, it goes to these directions. But there's another reason why we don't have a lot of stuff to offer. Normunds, you want to tell about it?
What was the reason?
Oh, the reason is that
I forgot about
we mentioned the distributors, which are an extension of MikroTik. And with that comes also the idea that we don't really have a lot of MikroTik devices here at MikroTik.
Oh, yeah, that is often the case. Yeah, but well, basically, it's like we said before, you should work more with your local distributors. Those are not box pushers, like let's say. They are actually people who are knowledgeable, who have good staff, who have support teams, and they can give you, or maybe sometimes lend you, or maybe they'll want to participate in some kind of donation efforts. I don't know.
They
Depends.
do that.
It depends on the company, of course. But you should try and talk to them, get to know them, find your favorite distributor. It shouldn't even be in your country. Who cares? Europe has no walls anymore. So, and the same goes for probably other countries as well in other areas. Yeah. So. We are a global community.
Yeah,
Shipping is cheap. Ask around, get to know people.
exactly. And just a quick example to show that we are not full of bollocks. If I need a MikroTik device, like for my countryside place where my grandparents live, I would also go to the distributor. Just because here at the headquarters, it would first of all, that's just not what happens here. Of course, we make.
Yeah, we don't have a shop actually
Yeah.
in the MikroTik. We don't have a local stock. Yeah.
So yeah, we make the prototypes here and all the testing and whatever, and there are physical devices here, but those are not the ones that we are selling.
Speaking about, you mentioned devices that you use. What devices do you use?
Well, my favorite device, but it's a blessing and a curse. I will tell you why. I'm using the Audience, and I like how it looks. It just really ties the room together. It's a really cool looking device. But what is really annoying to me about the Audience, and I know that it can be fixed by configuration, I'm just lazy. It is way too strong. I live on the 6th floor, and with the high ceiling, 3 meters or so. Not bragging. It's just an old house. It's built in the 100 years ago. And when I come back from work, for example, my phone connects to my Wi-Fi from the other side of the street, 6th floor. Yeah, and I don't know how to turn it off on iPhone that it connects to my home network when it's in range, but it's super annoying because the moment when it switches, it just, I don't know, I dislike that part of the Audience, but it's super fast.
You can actually turn down the power.
Yeah.
I will teach you later.
Okay, this might be a part of the torture video where
Yeah.
Yeah, you can limit like the antenna gain or something like that.
Simply the power is better to do that instead.
Are there any drawbacks to this?
Well, no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, and actually, it's better to do. We should do a separate video about wireless theory. But in any case, if you have a large area to cover, it's usually better to turn down the transmit power and put more devices, because then as opposed to one device that is very, very strong and is
Yeah.
trying to cover everything, because well, it will just work better. So it's better to have lower power in multiple devices, different
Okay.
locations.
Well, I've never had a problem with speed or whatever because we are two people in three room apartment. Usually, I would be using my computer.
How fast is your internet connection?
Oh, that's another thing. In Latvia, we have insane speeds. I have a gigabit in my
Yeah,
home.
me too. How much are you paying for your?
I don't really know because there's also TV included.
I don't have TV. I don't watch TV.
How much are you paying?
I'm paying, I think, 14 euros a
What?
month, no limits. 14 euros a month, no limits. 1 gigabit upload, download. I can do whatever I want. Nothing is limited.
I'm paying like I think 30 euros, but what I really like...
TV is expensive.
Yeah, and I've seen the speed reaching actually 2 gigabits at some moments.
Yeah, that usually happens in the ISP network, because the ISP does not limit your own. But you probably have 1 gigabit connection only. How can that be? Cable is limited to 1 gigabit.
Oh, like the category of the Ethernet?
And the router port only is 1 gigabit.
Oh,
You probably
right.
don't have 10G port.
Oh, right. I don't.
Speed test is just bullshit.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, but what's cool, when I bought the connection 3 years ago or 4, it was, I think, 400 megabits, and they kept upgrading it
Yeah,
for
and
free.
for free. Same for me. This is Latvia. This is why you should move to Latvia. I wanted to tell you about my crazy setup. My friend lives in the countryside, very, very far away from all settlements. There's nothing. And so we wanted to build some connectivity there.
Yeah.
So I helped him with the MikroTik devices. And oh boy, how it turned out. It's like a whole battleground of MikroTik devices. So there is no cable internet, no LTE. There is phone shows no service, always. The phones are always no service. So what we did, we put a big LHG LTE dish on the roof. And the LHG allows you to get further than the phones. So if you don't care what speed you have, you can still get some kind of signal. So and that one is pointed 14 or kilometers away to the nearest cell tower. There's no direct line of sight. It goes over several hills and forests, and so that the signal is actually changing depending on the weather and the season. So. But in good days, I reach 25 megabits maybe, yeah. And that's only the first part. So LHG dish, and then it's connected to I think it was hex, yeah, hex PoE. So Ethernet with PoE, Ethernet switch, and then that is connected to one cap that is serving the internet in one building. And then there is a wireless wire connected. That's our 60 gigahertz device. And that goes 100 meters to another building where it's like a farm. There's several buildings. People want internet everywhere. So the LHG, the hex, the cap, then there's wireless wire 60 gigahertz linked to across to another building. Then we have the other wireless wire. Then we have a HAP AC, which acts as a access point there. And to all of its ports, we have connected the older 911 router boards in the metal boxes, which Wi-Fi access point. Then I have some other HAPs, and they are like the main HAP AC. All the ports are used, so there's multiple devices, and the hex in the other building is working as a capsman, and all of those devices are provisioned with capsman from there. So it's all the same network. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 7 or 8 different MikroTik devices in this network, and it all works from the one LTE dish. And so I have all the frequencies are used. Everything is. I have like a battleground of different MikroTik routers. Everything works. Yeah, it's great.
I've always wanted to move to the countryside, and one of the reasons I haven't done so is because I cannot live without a nice internet connection. So
You know what you can also do? I recommended to one of my friend. This is the farm belongs to my friend. So his neighbor who
he
lives.
says that for tax purposes.
His neighbor who lives like a longer distance away also wanted internet, and so I consulted him. And what he ended up doing is he has a friend that lives like 30 kilometers away in a city, and they have fiber there. And his friend lives in a 5-story building, like on the top, and he put one of our outdoor dishes on the roof and shared his fiber connection. And this guy who lives in the forest with no neighbors, he climbed on top of a pine tree and put like a big mast on top of the pine tree and attached it with some ropes and put his LHD dish on that tree. And all you need is a line of sight. And if it's a very big pine tree and if that guy has a big building and you can kind of see, then you can actually get decent speeds, 30 kilometers.
Wow, that's
Working
really
great.
cool. Well, you gotta have good friends for that.
It's all an interesting science project. I always look at these things like a challenge. And with these MikroTik things, you can build all kinds of interesting things and solve different problems. It's great. It's a hobby for me as well as a job.
Yeah, well, I don't have as much cool devices, but I remember when I first started working here, they gave me a HAP AC squared as a gift. And I sold it to my best friend, being, well, if we were good friends, I would give it to him. But since we're best friends, I sold it to him. And then we have a chateau in the countryside, which is nice. But I remember the funny use case for my audience and the situation with the wireless network. So we have these smart lights at home, but they're not smart enough to be controlled just through the web. I have to be in the same wireless network, and they use this 2.4 gigahertz that I can get from like anywhere in town. And sometimes when I'm somewhere in the area, if I find my wireless network, I turn off the lights just to scare my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I think even scarier, I just realized, would be to turn them on, which is like in the horror movies, when stuff turns on, that's really scary. Because when it turns off, it's maybe just some power issues, but when it turns on, that's really scary. I saw a horror movie yesterday in the cinema.
Which one?
The Curse of Abizu, I think. It's about
Never heard about that.
about a demon from the Jewish Kabbalah which eats children and the usual stuff. It was okay. So there's that, the devices. And one last thing, I think you wanted to tell something about the support.
We kind of touched on that already. I just wanted to say that if you need any help, assistance, or configuration, we have these awesome distributors that I already mentioned, and they have technical people who are trained for this, and they are supposed to help you to just write them as well. Here in our Riga office, we're actually not that many people, and our resources are kind of limited in some ways, but we do have like hundreds of distributors around the world in nearly every country, and they have like people just waiting for you to write them.
Yeah,
so they're trained for this.
And not
Right
just that,
then.
they're also really passionate. Like every time I've met someone and started like a conversation and asked something about certain setups and whatever, they always tell me more than I asked. Like they really want to share the knowledge, and like Norman said, it's a job and a hobby for most people. So yeah, stay connected.
That's all.
Just one last detail, like when I write like the product brochures or when we do these videos, I always have a certain image in my mind. Like when I just said stay connected, I always imagine like a used car salesman from the US. Like I don't know why, and I'm not sure if it's like the best image to have in mind when you're trying to sell like 5G routers. Yeah, I just wanted to share this little detail that when we talk to sales, this is my concept of a hero. So, yeah.
Any other topics? No? No?
Bye.
Bye.
Jā, bet man liekas, šis tāds pašs ir, jā. Un vidīgi interesanti par to, ka no pilsētas šēro normāli internetu.
Nu jā,
Tas ir, jā.
tev vajag tikai kalnu, jomā.